Thanks, Steve.
Thanks very much. We are lucky to have Montel Williams here with us this week, and we were talking before the news, the top of the hour, about medicinal marijuana, and you were just about to get into the fact that the federal government is doing more than people think.
And one of the things that people don't understand is that, okay, first off, the reason why I utilize medicinal marijuana and have done so for the last 10 years and I'm one of the most vocal people in this country is because I suffer from intractable pain from MS. I've had it for now almost 11 years.
Multiple
it will
sclerosis.
not go from multiple sclerosis. So that's what started me down this journey after almost shutting down my kidneys and liver from taking so many prescription medication. So I came to this point of view. Now, when I did so, I didn't think I was doing anything wrong because what I found out immediately when I started using was that the federal government has been dispensing marijuana through a program at the University of Mississippi for the last 27 years. It started under the first George W. Bush, and it started in a compassionate care program for then 20 patients. For the last 27 years, every 17th of the month, the University of Mississippi puts together a canister under a USDA stamp and sends it out now to 4 pharmacies, and patients walk up and get a canister of 100 marijuana cigarettes made by the U.S. government. This month, 4 left out of 16.
With the U.S. patent processing.
And part of the problem is because the U.S. government owns the patent for marijuana. But now, not only does the U.S. government involved, but recently the National Cancer Institute added to a section of medical marijuana to a treatment database, and they came up, I want to show you something. This was in a document officially written by the National Cancer Institute.
Here's the original passage.
The original passage, they said, the potential benefits of medical cannabis for people living with cancer include antiemetic effects, appetite stimulation, pain relief, and improved sleep in the practice of integrative oncology. The healthcare provider may recommend medical cannabis not only for symptom management, but for also direct anti-tumor effect. There is research that has now proven that the chemicals in marijuana, when injected directly into a cancer cell, can stop the blood flow. This is a huge major breakthrough. But look, it would be stupid if this was just happening in a vacuum, because it's not.
And you were saying, you know, if we can have fish oil in a gel cap, why can't we do the same thing?
Correct. All we need to do is take the time to do with this medication what we should have done for the last 100 years rather than draw lines in the sand. See, most people in the country don't even understand it. Marijuana was never made illegal because it was a drug. It was made illegal back in 1937 for something called the Marijuana Tax Act, because the federal government realized they couldn't tax it. It grows seeds. Anybody can grow it. You can move it across state lines. They couldn't get money out of it, so they made it illegal. That was the reason. So let's get to...
Okay, now the NCI amended that statement.
Yes, and I'm sorry, they did. They amended that statement, and the new statement, they took out its potential... The potential benefits of medical cannabis for people living with cancer include antiemetic effects, appetite stimulation, pain relief, and improved sleep through though no relevant studies of practice patterns exist. It appears that physicians caring for cancer patients who prescribe medical cannabis predominantly do so for symptom management. But they took it out. They wrote a document first that acknowledged its anti-tumor capability, then took it out when they got in trouble because people started flooding the website and saying, why is not the government making this legal? But what's even more ignorant about this, if you look at our federal government's filing application for a patent on marijuana, the U.S. government writes itself. Cannabis has been found to have antioxidant properties unrelated to MDA or NMDA receptor, long words. And it goes on to discuss the fact that this newfound property makes cannabis useful in treatment and prophylaxis in a wide variety of oxidative associated diseases. The federal government said, after they've said on air in every forum that they can say, marijuana doesn't work, there's no proof. Why are you filing for a patent?
Right, good
question. So that they can make the money off of it after they shut it down. Bottom line is, we can have a war against drugs all we want. Take the patients off the battlefield. We're the residual damage here, and we don't need to be. This is a medication that works for me. My doctor has figured this out and said to me, Montel, and I see doctors at the Nobel Institute, at Harvard, Johns Hopkins. I see doctors around this country, and I fund research around this country, and they all recommend this. So I think people need to get out of.
You've been a proponent for over a decade now, but you said that it bothered you that certain people hijacked all of your efforts for less than honorable means and less than medicinal means.
Sure.
When you look at like the Sacramento News and Review, and by the time you get halfway through it, every other ad is a less than medicinal looking clinic that's offering up marijuana. What does that do to you?
And what it does to me is it angers me, and it's part of the reason why I've decided that if I've worked so hard to make this available, safe access for patients, trying to provide efficacious medication, if people aren't going to do it right, then I may as well try to do it myself. And this week, we're going to talk a little bit more about what I mean when I say that.
Very good.
And what I'm doing. And again, you can come out on June 12th from 5:30 to 7 p.m. at the Hyatt. But please do not call the Hyatt
Right. This is not
Regency.
a Hyatt event. This is
not a Hyatt
Montel's event.
It's my event.
Yeah.
You're going to have an opportunity to come out and get some information that's going to help your family live better, you live better. And I'm going to give you some information about medical marijuana, but that's not the primary focus. And if you come out, I'll tell you what, we've got some door prizes.
Very good.
Abcoaches.
Okay, cool. Awesome. All right, more about that coming up. Up next, also, Don has a list of Breakfast of Champions, 5 celebrity cereals that failed.
Plus, the Smithsonian celebrating the influence of Latinos on American music. Ooh, wow, Julissa. Checking out the new visit.
friends call me Who.
Hi. Hey, who? Sorry.
Hey, good morning to you. I know you don't recognize me without the makeup on today, huh?
No, my goodness.
That's right. It is called American Sabor, and let me tell you, it is an awesome, awesome exhibit featuring, of course, great musicians from Carlos Santana to Selena. You are learning all about them. You can even dance to some of their music. It's a special exhibit happening right here in Sacramento, and we get the first stop on the nationwide tour. We have a preview for you coming up.